beauty is relative.
Mr. Santino, I know who you are. And I also know your partner. The legend of the Chicken Police is always one step ahead of the Chicken Police.
Thank you.
May I ask what...
You know, that's an interesting question. The card we've shown your lovely colleague.
belongs to an old friend of ours.
And then...
Unfortunately, no, Mr. Santino. That's...
Well, you know, in our line of work...
Oh, do you think so? I could tell you what your colleagues think is all...
Look, ma'am, we don't want to impose. We're conducting a private investigation, which started off as harmless.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. That's why we'd be grateful.
In that case, I'm at your service. Ask your questions, and I'm...
Fortunately, I swim very...
I swim well. As I was saying, it belongs to us. Only our most valuable...
The employees, too. Good to know. Can you tell me...
No.
I thought so. Louis Hayworth is a good friend of mine.
You wouldn't believe our clientele.
No doubt. Louis...
Not...
Thank you for the vague...
The mystery is thrilling.
That was beautiful, ma'am.
Tell me, have you ever seen this?
I have.
Am I right to assume it has something to do with the sweltering Nile?
It does, yes.
Discretion is...
Absolutely.
Do you know Natasha Katsan?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about her.
Warm-hearted, protective.
Thank you. Very useful.
This place isn't just a...
Really?
It symbolizes why the city was founded almost 1,000 years ago.
Interbreeding?
That too, yes. Do you have a problem?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't.
Really? I'm glad.
Deceit is everything to Zavos. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with... Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavos? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know...
And you managed to dodge...
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of surviving. The way of dodging a delicate question, and...
I'm trying to maintain...
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are strong.
Isn't it dangerous being a royalist nowadays?
You know, Mr. Featherland, those that are genuinely dedicated never care about danger.
Do you think it's my loyalty that motivates me the most?
Maybe you're not loyal to the police, Mr. Featherland, but you are to your own principles and ideas.
That's true, but you're avoiding the question. Why did you stay in the king's employment after the scandals that are making half...
You know, I always adapt, but only to a degree.
You'd rather die then?
Maybe it would seem too dramatic or even romantic to you, but yes.
I'm sorry to doubt you, but I've always thought your kind was rather compromised.
Do you mean spies or crocodiles?
Spies, of course.
I must disappoint you, but there aren't many groups as loyal.
If you're telling me, ma'am. Why did you decide to...
You know, this place used to be an orphanage. Then after the Great Avian Plague, a hatchery.
Young mothers and prostitutes. That feels like a sharp turn.
No, it didn't happen like that, of course. The process took 20 years, but one thing remains the...
And this was the best you could do, helping them sell their...
You see things very superficially, Mr. Featherland. We're a family who helped each other even at the worst of...
And it's the cherry on top of the most treasured secrets of the rich and famous.
Very insightful, Mr. Featherland. There's truth to that. Knowledge is power, as they say. And we know a lot about...
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but...
Good. Let's see.
Well, Mr. Featherland,
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found...
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you, before she met Ibn.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland.
I am working for the government.
Are you sure?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know...
Right. That puts everything... Zavos is a true survivor. Always was. And she's proud of that, even to this... You tried to shape her into your image.
I reject your assumption, Mr. Featherland. Natasha was a self-sufficient...
And you hadn't...
I'm not one to change animals. I'm not a psychologist, Mr. Featherland. Nor am I some secret spy training officer.
Thank you. I actually... You knew you were taking a risk, yet you still took her in.
I don't know, Mr. Featherland. These things can't always be rationally explained. Not even when I've lived my whole life.
So Natasha came and turned your whole life upside down. She's like that, isn't she?
It's in her nature, yes. Poor...
That's quite an apt metaphor.
Did she sweep you away?
I don't know yet, madam. I'm clinging firmly to... Do you know where Natasha came from before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from...
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new proteges.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back...
It's rather...
It is, Mr. Featherland, yes. Curious.
Did it touch you deeply when she...
Indeed.
Zavos is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I... Why did you let her leave?
What else could I have done? Wessler is a handsome, rich, powerful animal. And
I've been in this job for more than 20...
You see? You learn something new every day if you have an open mind.
When was the last time you...
Maybe around 2 months ago. There was a ball.
Was she herself? Did you feel like...
On the contrary, she was unrestrained.
What do you mean?
You know Natasha loves on a different level than most Clawville women.
So you didn't notice any...
Well, if anything could be called strange, it was...
I see. How did you feel when you learned...
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't...
Of course I do.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right?
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherlap.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time.
Anytime, detective. Yes. Anytime. Please, gentlemen, wait.
Oh, that's excellent news.
Do you trust her?
Not in the slightest. Even her smile is fake. This woman wallowed in other animals.
That's exactly...
Anyway, now that we're here...
Just what I was thinking.
Beautiful pieces. These books are here. These books are... These books are here for a reason. They mean... These books are... These books...
A hidden door.
She is a legendary ex...
Well, this is something I've never understood. Why isn't...
I don't think many animals get to be...
Maybe she wanted us to find...
Exactly what I'm thinking.
This room is not like her at all.
The other must have been for show. Marty.
A former spot.
Still, if anyone knows how to
But you think this is who she really is?
and full of secret.